Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today, here alone with Lan-Tier in the city of, I forget the name of, but it's a reef, it's something reef, and we're in the Circus Minor or something like that. And the last episode we were talking to a very nice guy over here, Otero. He's apparently a kid, but he's very smart. The guy is smart, but he wouldn't join us, and we were going around talking to people. I don't know how big this place is. Let me press M. Oh, it's arms merchant over there. And we sold or bought and sold a dagger for no reason whatsoever. But that was okay. It was all fine. And apparently there's an execution going on over here. Death of Riz is the name of that thing, and I suppose Riz. Oh boy. They raise their hands as if from a sea of blood and climb for the houses of the sun, I believe says Death of Riz. This is horrible! Horrible! Yeah, these guys were saying, is this not a civilized city? It's sad, but what can he do, says the spectator. I wish I understood, says an intrigued woman. Oh boy, what is going on? We have a levy and Yin the overseer. I am but a speck, a mote in the eye of a something or other, I didn't get it, and a devourer of wrongs. Holy crap, this thing is complex, isn't it? Let's have a chat with the spectators first. Just mingle with the people. This man stares at the execution in utter horror. He cannot look away. No crime deserves such a punishment. How can this be allowed? Yeah, but what punishment? What exactly is happening? Although, I do see ropes. I probably wouldn't want to... No. Especially because it's going to take a few days, according to Otero. A waking nightmare, though they call it an execution, he shudders. The unfortunate victim is put into a trance that forces him to speak his nightmares. His words spill out of him as a rope of flesh, which is wrapped around his body until it crushes him to death. He shakes his head, and the indignity doesn't end from when the poor wretch finally dies, for then the devourer of wrongs eats his flesh. No, it's not just, he thinks. But what can be done? Everyone considers it a tradition. Yeah... So, why is everybody watching this, then? Well, they're animals. They find pleasure in cruelty. Well, so why are you watching it? Can't ask that. Farewell. This woman listens intently to the ravings of the man on the nearby dais, hanging on every word. She gives you a hesitant smile. Can you understand it? I know he's speaking great wisdom. If only I could decipher it. What's happening? An execution, she gestures towards the man on the dais. They put the condemned into a trance, and he speaks of the wondrous things he sees. His words become tendrils of corrupted flesh, which are wrapped around his body until they crush him to death, and then the devourer of wrongs eats him. I think I nearly understood that last one, she thinks. Why is everyone watching it? Most are only thrill-seekers and morbidly curious, but some of us gather to hear the words of the condemned. They are said to contain the most sublime truths, but they are born from dreams of death. We listen and try to understand their meaning. Stay true, friend. Yeah, what about this spectator over here? I'd say something, but who would listen? Okay, so apparently spectators don't really say anything, it's just these people. We got a few spectators. What about this unmoved woman? She's probably very angry at him or something. This woman stands at the back of the crowd, arms crossed and eyes cool as she watches the slow execution. Unlike the others, she's also watching the people in the crowd. Well, like me. She shakes her head. Depressing. What exactly is going on? Another in a long series of pointless executions. She points to the man with a rope of flesh coming out of his mouth. The poor bastards they're killing is put into a trance that makes him talk a lot of nonsense and spew that pink stuff. Eventually it crushes the life out of him, and the big guy eats him. Disgusting. Yeah, it really is, actually. Just the whole thing of... That's really... I don't even know. I feel like someone should do something. Why is everyone just watching? Well, because you're not doing anything. I'm gonna do something. Yeah, why is everybody just watching? She sighs. Well, it's what passes for entertainment in this town. People like to watch other people suffer. Takes their minds off their own suffering, I guess. That's not why I'm here, though. I just got sucked in. Well, I want to stop it, I guess, but what can I do? Yeah, I suppose. Well, what can I do either? Well, we'll find out what I can do. It's just me and Lan-Tier, but we'll see. Hey, Timur. I know your name for some reason. Pacing the edges of the crowd is a paunchy old soldier with a swaggering stride. At the moment, however, his jauntiness seems overshadowed by worry, and he alternates between watching the execution and searching the crowd as if looking for a miracle. Then his eyes light on you. I've never seen this face before. This might be just the break I need.
I say, you look like someone who believes in justice.
Yes.
How'd you like to help a poor soul wrongfully condemned?
What kind of help do you need? Well, I don't need anything, but my friend there on that platform is dying. The nightmares his executioner have induced in him spill from him with every word he speaks and wrap around him like a snake. He glances at the execution. I know there are but a few strands around him now, but in a few days' time, they'll choke the life out of him. I cannot imagine a more horrible way to die. He pauses. Well, it's not true. I have an imagination that would shame a sailor. He leans in. You'll need to be swift and willing to hold justice above law, but there is a way to save him, if you will hear me out. Who are you? Captain Lan-Tier, retired, he says with a little bow. Extremely retired. Once a soldier of fortune, now it's plaything. He takes another look at Riz, but my story can wait. Saving Riz's life comes first. So why is your friend being... Shouldn't that be Riz apostrophe without the S after that? Why is your friend being executed? That's a very, very important question. Oh, misunderstanding, he says, waving a dismissive hand. Riz and I were hired to deliver some expensive brandy to an out-of-town buyer. He breathes a sigh, weighted with disgust and regret. Would you believe that the bottles were stuffed with state secrets? Riz was accused of selling information to the enemies of Saga's Cliffs. They called him a traitor. It was a travesty, he growls, his eyes blazing with righteous fury. The poor lad had no idea what was in there. Tragic, he thinks. If he'd known, he might have escaped too. Then we wouldn't be in this mess. But you did, right? Well, he says, studying the air above your shoulder, there's a place for talking about what I know and what I don't. This isn't the place. And he clears his throat. Okay, so it seems like he really wasn't to blame in this thing. So, if you're part of the scheme, why aren't you up there with him? Luck, he says, shrugging. I was taking a piss when they came for him. Went through the back window and scampered off to the top of the roof. He shakes his head. I watched poor Riz being led away from my hiding spot. Swear I'd get him free. I hope it's a promise I can keep. Well, I wouldn't want you to miss on your promise. Make you a better man, and I'll help you. Let's see. Why are you helping him? Is friendship not reason enough, he declares. Then his shoulders sag and he hangs his head. Well, actually, truth to tell, there's more to it than that. I'm partially to blame for him being up there, and guilt's a strong motivator, huh? Yeah, I don't really believe you, although you already told me why. I want to talk to your friend. Are you mad? Tiberius sputters. It's an execution. He's surrounded by levies. They won't let you near him. And even if they did, he's out of his head. You'll get nothing but gibberish from him. Is that gibberish or gibberish? I believe it is gibberish. But now I see it written. It's weird. As if he doesn't speak gibberish. No, best to assume it's gibberish. And if he doesn't speak gibberish. No. Oh, I see how we might turn this thing into a profitable situation for us and for Riz over there. And I also liked how he was voiced. So, anyway, I still want to try. Tibir holds up his hand. As you wish. Just don't say I didn't warn you. The levies are not to be trifled with. Okay, well, farewell. Good luck to you. Okay, I will save the game here. Game saved indeed. Look at this rock I found, says this guy. Oh, he's stealing, isn't he? No. Watch how fast I can run. Oh, he's just a kid. That's the guy we saw running when we first got into the city or into this place. Let's have a chat here with. So we talked to everybody. An excited man over here. This man watches the execution with fevered eyes. He shakes his fist. Traitor! Traitor to the city! As you approach him, he gives you a savage grin. Nothing better than to see a traitor die, yeah, what's going on in here? Justice! The Saga's Cliffs way. He jerks a thumb but the dice. We make traitors and murderers spill their guts, then strangle them with them. We also force them to speak their nightmares to scare off other criminals into going straight. He laughs. And if that doesn't do it, then knowing that the devourer of wrongs is going to eat your body after you die will make me sick just thinking about it. He deserves it for betraying the greatest city in the world, he thinks. I suppose he doesn't think in that voice. Why is everybody watching this? To see justice done! He thumps his chest. If somebody hurts my city, I want to see them hurt twice as bad. And getting crushed to death by your own words is as bad as it gets. I suppose it is a very interesting and poetic way of dying. That is a very interesting way of dying, really. So we got a couple of levies around here, and we got the Yin, the Overseer. The creatures surround us with walls of black stone. They hide. Okay, so he might be actually talking important stuff, and I'm not paying attention to it. What is all... Yeah, what does it all mean indeed? Let's just wait for another one. Let me also zoom in. I haven't been playing it with too zoomed in. I really should. I am the daughter of treachery, the sister of shadows, the mother of freedom. Okay, yeah, you can see the nasty stuff coming out of his mouth. And it looks like it's terrible. It's really bad. The reason why I was why I had it zoomed out was because I was looking around for places to go, and of course, being in all places that are, and looking at the same things and all that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're good. Let's have a chat with Levy over here, and see if we can get through. This man is large and broad-shouldered, and his steel armor is painted in the silver and indigo colors of Saga's cliffs. He seems to be an ordinary soldier or constable of the city, too ordinary perhaps. As you scan his face, you see that his features are plain, forgettable, almost generic. Not only that, his eyes are a little too large, his smile too firmly fixed upon his face. He may look human, but his mind feels like a complete blank. And apparently with my amnesia, I really need persuasion though. That's a skill as well. But that's gonna be something that I really need. I wonder how that's gonna work. You feel certain that you have seen this man or others like him in the past. I wonder if they're all the same. Are you with the city watch? I ask. The soldier peers at you, smile never leaving his face. You must be a stranger to this city. Perhaps from one of the autochthonous tribes along the frontier? Allow me to welcome you to Saga's Cliffs, visitor. He speaks the final word like a title, almost an honorific. I am a levy. You may rely upon me, and others like me, for protection and assistance, at the discretion of the council and the slave families. So what's happening here? It is an execution for treason. The condemned man was found guilty of selling state secrets to a foreign power. You called yourself a levy. What does that mean? Every citizen is required to raise a levy for the protection of the city. In times of war or strife, citizens are sometimes called upon to raise additional levies, but this has not been required since a dread destroyer crossed the northern frontier 34 years ago. Huh. So levies are raised by citizens? That's not how it goes. Yes, a year of life is taken from a citizen. The lost year is used to create a levy. Oh. That's some powerful magic right there. He pauses ever so briefly, though his smile remains fixed in place. That is why our lifespans are precisely 1 year long. When our spans are up, we degrade into our component matter. If you are curious about the process, I have been instructed to direct you to the Order of Truth, where you may observe the machine that is our parent. Oh. That's actually really awesome. How much time do you have left before you degrade into your component matter, or however you put it? 4 months, 7 days. Huh. So who are the council and the slave families? Do they govern the city? Indeed so. Each slave family sends one representative, usually the head of the family, to sit on the council. We are required to follow their commands. Let's examine him a little bit. If you saw the face of this man on the street of a city, you wouldn't glance at him twice. His features are utterly ordinary and forgettable. Not too ugly, not too handsome. It is indeed almost like he is an average of many thousands of men. Oh, I see what it is. Their idiosyncrasies and imperfections merge into a bland middle ground. The exceptions, of course, are the eyes, which are just a bit too large for the face, and the fixed, ever-present smile. Taken together, the man's features gives you a vague sense of unease. Yeah, probably the uncanny valley or something like that. Although, well, I can't really trust all the averages that you see online. Like the average woman, and it's a beautiful, beautiful woman. The average man, it's a handsome man. Just, I'm not sure if that's the case. Just, I can't trust. It's not that I doubt it. It's just that I can't trust a random internet picture for telling me that that's the case. Anyway, so you really serve the council, not the people of the city? A brief pause. Yes, that is correct. Oh, he never thought of that like that, maybe. Okay, I'd like to go upon the platform, please. I am privileged to inform you that you cannot. The levy manages to make it sound like a piece of excellent news. If you wish to discuss the matter further, please direct your inquiry to the official in charge. He points to the indigo-clad man on the projecting edge of the dais. Okay, thank you very much for your service. Farewell, visitor. Can I talk to this guy? Is he gonna say the same exact thing? I would think he would. This armored levy is almost a mirror image of his comrade who stands on... Oh, this is so awesome that they change. This is so awesome. I love that. Because maybe if we did the opposite, they would... This would be the dialogue that I would get over there. There's that... Yeah, those are definitely dragons flying overhead. Or... I don't know. They're flying in schools, so I have no idea. Anyway, this armored levy is almost a mirror image of his comrade who stands on the other side of the execution platform. You sense that something about them is subtly different, but at first glance, you can't quite determine what it is. He nods and greets you in a remarkably similar voice. Hello, visitor. Let's try and examine him a little bit better. Ooh. The face of this levy is nearly identical to his comrade on the other side of the execution platform. If they're different, the variations are extremely subtle and random. A slight difference in the shape of the ears, perhaps, or a barely discernible quirk of the lips when he smiles, as he does constantly. Otherwise, the two men could be twins. Actually, they are even less distinguishable than twins. Yeah, yeah. Is he gonna say the same thing? Yeah. I like to go on the platform. Oh, I'm afraid that is not permitted during an execution. The levy smiles never falters. If you wish, you may appeal to the official in charge. He points to the stocky man who stands at the projecting edge of the execution platform dressed in indigo finery. I suppose indigo and silver would be the colors of the city, so that's not indigo though, that's purple or teal. Indigo is blue, is a dark sort of, I suppose that might, what do I know? I know nothing. So how much time do you have? I have only existed for 14 days, so by the standard calendar, I have 299 remaining, unless I am killed in the line of duty. So the Earth has severely slowed down, not just in its rotation, but it's also in its gravitational, whatever the names of the thing around the sun. So that's a subtle way of telling me what the calendar is like. So we have 313 days, and by that we could, well... We could make an estimation of what the time is, of the age of the Earth at this point, with the current methods of calculating that. But then again, there's some events, and definitely with the extinction of 8 civilizations, 8 worlds actually, not just civilizations, 8 worlds, probably the Earth would have slowed down a whole lot more than just the normal overtime slowing down of the Earth, because, you know, like, if you launch a space shuttle into space, you are actively slowing down or speeding up the Earth, depending on how we do it. There's like huge explosions that will, like atomic bombs, will slow down the Earth for some degree. It's calculable. It's very, very tiny, but it is calculable. And I'm not an expert on that. I wouldn't be able to tell you. So why do all levies look the same? Allergen snorts. In any other situation, that question would earn you a punch in the mouth. No, this is how we emerge from the machine, says the levy. But we aren't truly the same. Citizens can always recognize the levies they raised, and some can tell us apart by looking closely. But I thought it would be the other way around. Citizens can tell us apart by looking closely, and some can even recognize the right? But why is it that way? Could be just an oversight from the writer, I suppose. Let's have a chat here with this guy. A stout, middle-aged man stands atop the execution platform. He wears the badge of a city official, and a fringe of dreadlocks hangs down to his shoulders from his otherwise bald pate. I think it's pate. He gives you a distinguished look as you approach. Please stand back with the others. What's going on here? He casts a brief glance over his shoulder towards Riz. The prisoner, Riz of Flatwater, is being publicly executed as a warning to all who would flout the laws of Sagus Cliffs. So what is his crime? Treason. He sold state secrets to the enemy of the Sagus Cliffs. So how does the execution work exactly? Ah, another rustic. It is very simple, sir. Our nanos induce in him a hallucinogenic state. In his state, he experiences visions. Nightmares, really. He speaks of the things he sees, and his words become flesh as they leave his mouth. We shape the flesh into a human-like form. The death you see beside him... Oh, wait a minute. You shape his flesh into that thing? Oh my god. Oh, I didn't get that. I thought that was just a guy, but it is indeed like a disgusting, gruesome thing. He gestures towards the hideous figure, which looks to be made of rotting viscera. Well, rotting, sure, but viscera in general just looks nasty. As more strands escape his mouth, his death wraps them around him, and they slowly crush the life out of him. Once the condemned is dead, the devourer of wrongs will eat the corpse. He raises his chin proud. Thus is justice upheld in Sagus Cliffs. So, what do his words mean? He shrugs. While some believe there is wisdom to be gained from the rantings of the condemned, I've never gleaned any. Others say that the torment of the condemned means nothing, but it deters would-be criminals from committing offenses of their own. I have never noticed that to be true either. So, why does the Devourer of Wrongs eat executed criminals? And what exactly is he if he's gonna eat a man? I mean, it's okay that he's a cannibal, but, I mean, to eat a whole man? Come on. He smiles, grim. Well, he is of the Dendra Ohud, who can suck the memories of the dead from their marrow. In those memories, is not only the proof that the condemned were guilty, but also the names of their compatriots and other associates. Many of an accomplice has been found out in the belly of the Devourer. Oh. And he's thinking, I'm sure Riss wasn't working alone. We'll find all his friends soon enough. Oh, this is pretty interesting. So that's the reason why he actually, the other guy, actually wants him saved. Let me ask you something else. So, who are you? He bows slightly. I am Yin, overseer of capital punishment, charged by the council with organizing public executions and making sure they run smoothly. Okay, so I can't go up there. I can't ask him to go up there. Can I? Let me try that again. Can't do anything. I suppose I could try and actively go up. No, I can't. Well, let me save before I do that. But I need to ask this guy what his plan is. I can't go up there. Nope, cannot. Let me see if I can talk to the levy again and do something different. No, cannot do. Okay, so let's ask this guy's plan. I really would want to talk to him. Maybe I can actually. No, not from here. And yeah, we have the Devourer of Wrongs. It looks like, I don't know. The deeps shall echo with our song, and the masters shall weep to hear it. Not really sure. Hey, T-Beer. The old soldier is still pacing the edge of the crowd, anxious. He brightens when he sees you. Ah, you've returned. Have you changed your mind, my friend? Are you here to help? Yeah. I have some questions about Riz, though. What's your plan? A simple one, but it requires nerve. Listen. He lowers his voice. It would be nothing for someone of your noble demeanor to masquerade as a city official and ask the council clerk for an archived copy of an old stay of execution. Once you have it, I'll write out a fresh one and add Riss's name. Then we'll present it to the overseer here, and poor Riss will be set free. He spreads his hand. There you have it. A foolproof, risk-free plan. Well, this sounds like an extremely risky plan. Nonsense, he says, waving a hand. It couldn't be simpler. Just be calm, confident, and wear a winning smile. He gives you a winning smile. Yeah, I'm really not skilled at that. I really would like to be, but I'm really not sure I am. Well, we'll see. So where do I find the council clerk? He'd be in the government square, of course. There's a podium outside of the city tower. The council tower, excuse the hiccup. I can think of a time he wasn't there. Okay, so would it be simpler to talk to the crowd of at the execution, convince them to rise up and free Riz? Well, that actually could work, because they're all very upset, or most of them are upset. TB looks uneasy. Well, you're welcome to try, friend, but leave me out of it. Sagas Cliff's crowds are notoriously bloodthirsty, and the execution officials are not known for their sense of humor. You might regret it later, and you'd be alone when you did. Too many unknowns in a scheme like that, not enough escape routes, he thinks. I need to decide. I really would like to, rouse the crowd. Alright, I'll help you. Excellent! Then you will need a proper story and a badge of office. Fortunately, I have the first, and you can buy the second from Sangolin, the clothing merchant in the government square. He folds his arms. Once you have the badge of office, you will tell the council clerk you are from the Judicial Oversight Committee, looking into the corruption in the commutation, of capital sentences. The stay you were asking for is that of a notorious gangster named Cole Carden, who was mysteriously set free a few years ago. When you get Cole's stay of execution, I'll make a copy with Riz's name on it, and you can get it to the overseer who will free him. You see? Simple. He rubs his hands together. Now, if you'll let me join you, I'd be happy to show you around the city and help you with all of this. And whatever else you have going on. What do you say? Yeah, I could use your help. It will be my pleasure, but let's hurry. There's not a moment to lose. Riz hasn't much time.
Updated my journal.
Oh, yeah. And we have a new friend, Tibi. That's why he was voiced. And that's why, well, that's why he was voiced. What does he have? He doesn't have anything on him. He does have a broadsword over there. And I think I will... Wait a minute. What is he skilled? That's a medium sword. So he likes deception. He doesn't have anything here. He doesn't like heavy weapons. So character sheet, I can look at stuff. He got smashing. Yeah, nobody is really skilled at heavy weapons. I'm really not good at anything apart from short weapons. And ranged, I guess it would be. So he's gonna go. I'm gonna give him... He's got a shield. Plus 10% evasion. I'm gonna give him this crappy thing. I think it might be better. Can I do that like that? Yes, I can. Is it better? Can I compare it? How can I do that? So this thing is 3 physical damage, 4 damage per effort applied. Whereas this one is 3 physical damage, 3 effort per thing. It is a maximum of 4, though. It's a maximum of 9. Light weapon bonus, 15% on weapon attacks. And this one has... I think I'd rather go with that. He's not really too skilled, so I'm just gonna hold on to that. He got a broadsword right there. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I saw something. What is this thing? Oh, status. Fetals. Huh. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. So we have a new friend. That's fantastic. Let's try and rattle and rouse the crowd if I can. This excited man over here. Oh, yeah. The man glances at you, then returns his attention to the execution. Oh, good to see you again. Back to see the traitor die. Do you truly care if he's a traitor, or do you just like watching men tortured to death? He snarls at you. How dare you! It's justice that's important to me, and protecting my city. Yeah, I think he's the only one that doesn't actually want, that actually wants this thing to go on. Let's see. So maybe getting him out of here might be a good idea. That's actually a good point. Let's see. And is justice always handed out equally in Saga's Cliffs? I'll bet the rich never pay. That's... Oh, yeah. You should do that. For a guy like him, appeal to that right there. Then you think it'd be interesting in making sure the real traitor gets caught. No, let's not, because he's my friend now, and I kind of need him for fighting and stuff. Or maybe getting stuff out of stuff. Anyway, of course it is. Forgive me. Nope, let's go with this one. And is justice always handed out equally in Saga's Cliffs? I'll bet the rich never pay for their crimes around here. And I gain Indigo Tide. Well, he pauses. I've got a point there. I've never seen any Hindsiders. What? Highsiders, yeah. Spill their guts on the platform, or heard any of them ever being accused of treason. His eyes narrow. What do you know that I don't? Well, this poor fool took the fall for someone else. That's a mockery of Saga's pride. We should free him. Oh. Okay, we can choose. Deception. We're really not good at deception. He is, though. He is nice. Let's see. Deception, he's specialized in that, actually. But this is really a really tricky check. And, of course, I'm going to go with 100% because we need that. Critical success. How does that work? Stat pool spent on effort restored. Awesome. So it was free. The man grinds his teeth, thinking, then finally nods. Aye, the small fish are always taking the fall, but not this time. Free the prisoner! He shouts. Well, we are out of time for the day, but next episode we're gonna rouse this crowd, and it's gonna be awesome. I really prefer it to just scheming my way around. I'm really not that kind of guy. My character is really not that kind of guy. I mean, I'm also not that kind of guy, mind you, but just I'm role-playing here. So let's see what happens on the next episode. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Why don't you? Leave a like as well if you enjoyed the video, but above all, above everything else, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.